Up to the 30, the 20, 10, 5. Torrey Horton back to the end zone.
48-yard play. Guess who? Body up the middle, making another move to the outside. 15, 10, end zone again.
Keeps it. Nice move by Brown. He's got space. He's got 6. 35-yard touchdown for Byron Brown. A record-setting night for the South Florida quarterback.
Down so far, a little bit of a high snap. Genty right up the middle. Genty has room. Ashton Genty, give him 6.
Second and long. Lagar tries to fit it in. Ramos, it does. Ramos stays up. The Suns offense 4-3 wins. Incredible effort for Ramos.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive Live, and we are excited to bring you the G5 college football coverage you love each and every week. I am Justice. Luke is having some technical difficulties. Hopefully, he will be able to join us here momentarily. While Luke's working on his issues, we hit a special milestone this past week. We had 1,000 followers on X. So we want to thank everyone for all their support. We can't thank you enough for that. And if you're not following us on X, please go follow us on X. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching on X, please give us a follow, a like, and a retweet. And if you're listening in podcast form, please rate and review. Also, don't forget the G5 Hive merchandise store is now live. The link is in the YouTube video comments, and it is also here on the bottom of your screen on YouTube.
Let's move into our Friday G5 games. We've got Miami at Bowling Green. Bowling Green is favored by 2 points, 41.5 over under. This is going to be a great MAC game like we teed it up for. This is your playoff.
This is a playoff game. This is a playoff game to get to the MAC championship, potentially.
If you want to go, ESPN tells me tickets are low as $8. So, go ahead and make your trip there to Bowling Green. I think Bowling Green has the edge because at home, I think I'm going to lean Bowling Green on this one. And the reason is because of a certain tight end.
Harold Fannin Jr.
I think he's going to be the reason.
I'm gonna lean Miami. I'm gonna lean Miami of Ohio in this game. I think they're gonna beat Bowling Green at Bowling Green.
All right, Ball State at Ohio, Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, Ball State, depending on which team you get, if they can put a whole game together, usually it's half that defensive and offensive line. It's both line plays. They're just great for one half, not great for the other. This one, Ohio's favored by 14.5, 52.5 over under. Give me Ohio in this one, but this will be one that if Ohio doesn't hit the 14.5, I don't know, it's so Jekyll and Hyde with this Ball State team. But if they put up a solid showing, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I think they'll put up a fight, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Ohio offense. I think the Ohio defense will probably turn Ball State over a few times, and the Ohio defense is going to be the difference in this game.
Oregon State at Boise State, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Boise State favored by 20.5, 56.5 over under. Give me the unders in both this, and then I don't think Boise State covers the 20.5. Want to know why? This game's at 12 p.m. Eastern. Boise State does not play. I just don't think they're used to playing at this time. I think that's going to play into effect. Ashton Genty got slowed down last week. It looked like he tweaked his ankle. He's had his arm. Ever since that hyperextension of his left arm, I think it was, he's had that. But I think he banged up. I think he got hurt pretty good this last week. Oregon State's been very porous on the ground. So Boise State should be able to run the ball. I do think they can win. Doesn't matter if it's Dubar or anybody else, I think they can win this one pretty easily. But honestly, I think the weird part is just the time. In when that is, and because you're just not used to playing at that time, and you usually have your routines that you do. I think it's going to play a bigger part, and I think maybe Boise State comes out of the gate slow. They've had a couple 3 weeks now where they've been tough to get started, and they finally turned it on in the second half. But give me Boise State. I just don't like the spread there.
I think Boise State's going to be able to run the ball at will against Oregon State. I think we'll see how healthy he is, because I think this is a prime opportunity to get Ash and JT some Heisman votes. So we'll see how healthy he is, how much they rely on him.
The thing that hurts in the Stop the Steal campaign, Colorado plays at the same time. You've got Fox versus ABC. You've got Colorado against Oklahoma State also at 12 p.m. So, like, that kind of sucks that you don't have this standalone. Like, people are going to have to watch one or the other type thing.
Yeah.
All right. And then we've got Navy at East Carolina, 12 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Navy favored by 1, 56.5 over under. Give me East Carolina at home in this one. They're clicking on all cylinders right now. I get it. Navy before the bye, they've lost 2 in a row. I think it's actually going to be a high-scoring game, because I think Navy's going to be able to move the ball on East Carolina pretty well, especially on the ground. But give me East Carolina.
Yeah, I mean Navy. There's no Blake Horvath. I think the Navy's definitely in trouble. But it's 2 teams trending in opposite directions, right? Navy started off hot, and now it's cooled off and trending down. East Carolina started off not so great, and then they've come on late. And so I'd ride the hot hand and East Carolina. The spreads of Navy, like you said, Navy -1. I think East Carolina wins the game outright.
Then we've got Liberty at Sam Houston Friday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Liberty favored by a field goal, over under 47.5. Give me Sam Houston. Give me the under. I just think Sam Houston is going to run the ball, and it's going to be like the Service Academy. They're going to run the ball, try to eat up the clock. I think they're going to be able to stop Liberty. Liberty hasn't been able to throw the ball particularly well, so they're going to lean on the run game. I think this game just moves quickly from a time standpoint due to the running, but Sam Houston's defense good enough to stop Liberty.
Yeah, I don't know. Gun to my head, I'm probably picking Liberty to win outright, but I don't know that I like Liberty to win by 3. It's just going to be a close game, man. It's going to be a tight game. If I was to play something, I'm probably playing the under on the over-under. 47.5.
We'll see what Sam Houston's special teams. Sam Houston's special teams was so bad last week that it really cost him. So we'll see how that goes this week. Utah State at Colorado State, 3:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Colorado State favored by 6, 58.5 over under. I kind of like Utah State in the points. I don't think I like Utah State to win, but Bryson Barnes played really well, ran the ball really well. But if they're down, they're running back, and if they're down, it doesn't sound like Petrus is going to play. I feel like that's going to be hard. But then Colorado State, who are they preparing for? I think that would be the hard part. Obviously, Colorado State's going to run the ball. This could come down to who's got the ball last in a oddly weird high-scoring game between Utah State and Colorado State.
Yeah, it's either or turnovers, right? I mean, pretty much any game can be turned on turnovers. Colorado State protects the ball fairly well, though. Utah State, I think with Barnes, they probably run the ball more.
Yes.
And again, protect it more. So like you could be right. It could be whoever has the ball last.
But give me Utah State and the points. I don't know. I just don't like 6.
Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, Texas State at South Alabama, Friday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern at South Alabama. Texas State favored by 1, 60.5 over under. This Texas State team, not sure what team is showing up. For the large majority, I'm not sure what team is showing up for South Alabama, but give me South Alabama in this one. Playing really well lately. There was a throw last week. They talk about NFL throws. How do you do it from like hash to hash? There was an awful throw. No way should you be throwing this. But Gio Lopez threw number to number. It was just, and he's a left-handed quarterback. Yeah, there were just so many bad things that happened, but it was on a dart. Like that's got to be like a 40-yard throw, 35-yard. Like it was on a dart, and it was only for a couple yards. But like I haven't seen too many number to number passes. But I like what South Alabama can do. Texas State's just been so up and down. So based on just consistency, I'm going to go South Alabama.
And it's a huge game for them. Like if they win, for them to have an opportunity to win the Sun Belt West, step one is they have to win this game. And their game is on Friday. The Louisiana doesn't play till Saturday. They're not going to know what's going to happen in that game. So they I think they're going to have more motivation. And like you said, they have been the more consistent team.
All right, let's get to some California love. We've got some G5 versus P4 matchups. We've got Stanford at San Jose State, 4 p.m. Eastern on Friday. San Jose State favored by 3, 55.5 over under. I mean, as long as it's not raining, I guess. San Jose, you kind of like them. Stanford's been kind of up and down. I don't know. With what I just witnessed last week, I can't say that they win.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like I'm not after what we saw from Walker Egan last week. I don't quite understand how they're favored. I mean, I get Stanford's bad, but man, they're still a power 4.
Like if Nick Nash, I could see how they could do it, but I don't know. I'm gonna go Stanford in this one. I guess whatever gives me the best juice there, if it's the money line or the points. I mean, I'm sure it's the money line, but anyways. Then Saturday we've got Fresno State at UCLA, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm trying to find the over-under for that game. That game's 46.5 over-under. UCLA 9.5. Give me UCLA big in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think UCLA will win, but it wouldn't shock me that if Fresno State keeps it within 9.5.
Yeah, I just don't think there's enough explosive runs for Fresno State in this one, and UCLA. I think they get this one. All right, Saturday featured G5 matchups. First, we have UTSA at Army, 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Who you got?
Man, again, two contrasting styles, right? Like the air it out Roadrunners versus the pound and ground Army. Man, I'm gonna lean to Army. Army's favored by 7. I don't know that I like them to win by a touchdown, but I do think they will win the game.
Give me Army in this one, over under 54.5. I actually kind of like the over in this one. Like you might think under because it's a service academy, but Army's been putting up numbers. They're running it like you get Daly with a long touchdown run here or there. UTSA trying to just throw the ball all around. I like the over of 54.5. Next, we've got Louisiana at Louisiana Monroe, 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Over under at 48.5. Louisiana favored by 9.5. Give me Louisiana.
Yeah, two teams going in opposite directions. UL Monroe, UL Monroe needs this game for bowl eligibility, which would be huge for them.
Absolutely.
But they've blown it every week for the last, I don't know, 3 weeks, it seems, at least. Louisiana needs to win the Sun Belt West. Louisiana, even with backup quarterback Chandler Fields last week, played dynamite. UL Monroe, you know what they're going to do. They're going to hand the ball off to Ahmad Hardy. That's their only offensive weapon. And so, yeah, I'm with you. I think Louisiana wins this, and probably by more than the 9.5. I would think they'd win by 10, 11, 12, something like that.
All right. ODU at Arkansas State. This one, 3 p.m. Eastern. ODU favored by 4, over under 58.5. Give me ODU in this one. I think this one is going to be the Colton Joseph show. Try to end the season on a high note for ODU. Who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, this game doesn't really mean much. It's kind of personal pride, really, for both teams. Arkansas State's already bowl eligible. They can't win the Sun Belt West. ODU can't get the bowl eligibility. They get to 5 wins. So to me, these kind of games are difficult because it's going to be it's personal motivation. There's no extra motivation on either side. My heart wants ODU to win. My head says it, but they might not.
Well, I am an unbiased, so I say ODU gets the win. Jacksonville State versus Western Kentucky at Western Kentucky, 4 p.m. Eastern. Kickoff. WKU favored by 1.5, over under 60.5. Give me Jacksonville State in this one. Running all over, controlling the ball, controlling the time of possession. Give me Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't understand this line at all. I don't understand how Western Kentucky's the favorite. I like Jacksonville State in this game.
App State at Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern favored by 2.5, 62.5, over under. In a weird way, give me App State. I like App State in this one.
Yeah, I agree. App State needs this win for bowl eligibility. This is a pretty big rivalry. So two things of motivation for App State. Number one, they need to win for bowl eligibility. Number two, if they beat Georgia Southern, then that guarantees Marshall is in the Sun Belt Championship. I think they'd rather see Marshall win the East than Georgia Southern. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think App State wins this game.
And let me look up a couple things that I've been just kind of looking at here for player-wise. So I wrote down a couple notes as I pull them up here. So for App State, you've got Caden Robinson goes down. Mekhi Jackson has stepped up this last week. He had 5 receptions on 6 targets for 162 yards and 1 touchdown. He had 5 receptions in that game. He had 12 in his last 4 up to that game, so he's kind of stepped up in Caden Robinson's absence. Amani Marshall has averaged 23 carries for 116 yards rushing and 1 touchdown over his last 4 contests. App State needs to win this game to become bowl eligible. That's another thing that's kind of sleeping on there. I believe that we see App State just stick with that run-focused approach. And Georgia Southern's defense is allowing 189 yards rushing and a touchdown and a half per game over their last 4 contests. So given, Appalachian State's recent run game success, I think Amani Marshall is the reason App State wins this. They have not passed as much here in the last couple weeks. And then, again, Caden Robinson going down to injury. I like App State. Now I gotta find my spot again because I had to go scroll and find that. Next we have Nevada at UNLV. I don't know the spread. Let's hear.
It's UNLV by 17.5.
17.5, over under 55.5. I actually like the over the 55.5. Nevada's been sneaky in scoring points. Brendan Lewis has been great on the ground and through the air. Obviously, UNLV really great on defense. So, I mean, that could pose some issues there, especially with a Mountain West Championship berth on the line. They could, be a little amped up. Give me UNLV. I don't know if I like that 17.5, but I mean, that's probably in the ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, UNLV win, and they're in the Mountain West Championship. They were given a gift last week by Colorado State in losing to Fresno, and I think UNLV is going to take full advantage of that, and they're gonna put it on Nevada.
All right. Marshall at JMU, 8 p.m. Eastern. JMU favored by 3.5, 52.5 over under. Give me the over and give me Marshall.
Yeah, that's another one I don't quite understand the spread. I think Marshall's going to win. They're definitely the more consistent team. JMU has been very up and down, and JMU's not really playing for anything in terms of being able to win the Sun Belt East. Marshall, it's all in front of them. Yeah, give me Marshall.
James Madison has allowed 319 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns via the ground over the last 2 weeks. Braylon Braxton, absolute weapon with his legs. He's coming off a game in which he just ran for 140 yards on the ground against Justice's ODU team there. He's averaging 47.2% of the rushing attempts over those last 2 weeks. If they want to get to that Sun Belt Conference Championship game, look for them to rely heavily on Braylon Braxton and those legs to get them to that win over James Madison. New Mexico at Hawaii, 11 p.m. Eastern. It's a standalone game. I know it's hard for you to stay up, but watch.
Yeah, I tell you why I'm watching this game. New Mexico wins this game, they become bowl eligible, and that's the job. I can't understate the job that Bronco Mendenhall has done this year at New Mexico.
Great hire.
I mean, it's worthy of Coach of the Year. He's not going to get it. It's just not going to happen. I understand that, but I mean, if New Mexico gets to bowl eligibility, that's just miraculous. He has done a hell of a job, and I expect him to win this game and get the bowl eligibility. I mean, again, we talked about it last week. I feel like you and I were some of the highest folks in the country on New Mexico, but we weren't this high. We didn't see him getting the bowl eligibility.
I think their over under to start the year was 2.5.
Yeah,
1.5, something like
that.
I
think we would like them to get 4 wins, but not necessarily the bowl eligibility.
Yeah, New Mexico favored by 2.5, over under 61.5. Give me New Mexico. And honestly, New Mexico's defense has been up and down. But what really gets worked is usually that defensive line by New Mexico. But Hawaii's not going to be running the ball, so I kind of like the over in the 61.5. And Hawaii's been stingy against the run, but I'm just trying to think who ran all over. Faison just ran all over him a couple weeks ago. Devin Dampier is going to.
Yeah, that's another reason to watch this game is Devin Dampier. If you have not got an opportunity to watch Devin Dampier, not only to watch, New Mexico get the bowl eligibility, tune in to watch Devin Dampier. The kid's electric.
Hopefully Luke Weissong gets a touchdown. Not too many touchdowns on the year. Let's see what we can do there for Luke Weissong in this one. All right, guys, make sure if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you are watching us on X, please give us a follow, a like, a retweet. If you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review. That's That's going to do it for us tonight. We're not going to do. Usually we do some fantasy football stuff at the end. If you want some names, go ahead DM us. We've got a couple. I've got a Fan Tracks article that will come out Thursday. I wait till after the waiver wire is gone to see what's still out there, because there are going to be plenty of names still out there if you need them. But
come back and join us next week. We'll go over what happened in week 14, and then we'll get you ready for those conference championship games.
Yep, and then we'll bring you up to date on all the latest news and happening in the world of G5 college football. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching us on X, please give us a retweet, a like, and a follow. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please subscribe and leave those 5-star ratings. Thank you all for your support. Until next week, we are the G5 Hive.
First